Good afternoon. Welcome back to Franciscan Spirituality, Franciscan Discernment. So, Francis had renounced his title as his wealthy father's son, had returned the money and clothes that belonged to his father, and was wearing a beggar's cloak with a rope around his waist. Francis returned many times to the broken down church of San Damiano, where he spent many hours praying before the crucifix, asking Jesus, "What do you want me to do with my life?" One day, during his prayer, Francis heard Jesus tell him, "Go, rebuild my church. It is falling into ruins." Francis looked around and saw the broken down church of San Damiano. He said, "Yes, Lord, I will repair your church." But he now had a dilemma: how to find and fund the materials necessary for his new construction project. G.K. Chesterton writes, "He had chosen to be poor and would remain poor. The poor have two ways of providing for their needs. They can work or they can beg." Francis was not afraid of work. On the contrary, he wanted to work as hard as he possibly could. Begging is a form of humiliation and also an opportunity to have others share their charity. Francis was to use both means alternatively and at the same time. One market day, he appeared in his hermit's habit and began to sing in the midst of the crowd like a troubadour of God. When he had finished his song, he moved among the dumbfounded hearers, saying, "Whoever gives me a big stone will receive a reward in heaven. Whoever gives me 2 stones will receive 2 rewards. And whoever gives me 3 will receive 3." He explained to everyone that these stones would be used to rebuild the church of San Damiano. Naturally, there were some who laughed and scoffed at Francis, but Francis laughed with them. But according to an early account, Chesterton tells us, there were others who were moved to tears. People remembered who Francis was, and they were amazed at what he had become. The stones began to pour in. When anyone stopped to watch him, he called out to the passerby, come on over and help me repair the church of the great San Damiano." So how creative are we in responding to God's direction in our lives? Do we rely on the gifts God has given us to get whatever the task is completed? My new mission, my obedience of last year and this year, has been to invite young adults, men and women, to get to know more about our Franciscan life and how to follow the gospel of Jesus in our world today. I love to teach. I love theology. The Holy Spirit inspired me and Sister Julianne, with whom I share this mission, to create a presentation, a reflection called The Eucharist, From Adoration to Action, using our Franciscan spirituality. I feel like St. Francis in many ways. I am inviting young adults to come to a Franciscan community of sisters or brothers to help rebuild the church. We have been doing this in over the country in the last year. I would so enjoy coming to your young adult group with one of my Franciscan Friar friends to share this presentation reflection with you. It is all about discovering, like St. Francis did, that God is in love with you and inviting you to spend your life walking with Jesus in rebuilding his church. May the Lord give you peace, and I would love to hear from you. God bless you.